Good morning, Real Housewives of New Jersey fans and all of us little housewife historians. We are talking Real Housewives today, this morning, Thursday, right? It's almost the weekend, so we just have one more day this week to try to make it through, and then it's the weekend. The weather's been beautiful here, so I'm outside. I hope the audio is okay for you guys. I was gonna do a live, so I'm trying to do this video quickly just for the people that like a quick and to the point sort of video, all facts, no opinions type of deal, and we'll get right into it. So we had the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion part 1 air on Tuesday, but we also have a lot going on with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have not had a chance to cover that, and I will get into it, just not in this video. The Real Housewives of New Jersey are obviously taking over the internet, Instagram, Twitter. They are all over the place. We're still talking about it. Teresa, Melissa, the wedding. I mean, it's been almost a year, but we do have some tea. We're talking about Andy Cohen, the possibility of him seeing some repercussions for some of his decision-making skills, decisions that he's made about the housewives. So, of course, I'm not going to play my intro, but everything in this video is alleged, as always. And let's go ahead and get into some of this gossip. Sorry, I was just trying to get a better camera view for you guys. It's a little better. So Real Housewives of New Jersey, we still have the war going on between Melissa and Teresa. The war has continued and spilled onto the battlefield of Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. It has turned mothers against daughters and sons against fathers, if you will. I'm just joking about that part. But it is pretty serious, and I do feel like people are riding very, very hard for either Melissa or Teresa. There's not a whole lot of neutral people. The neutral people just seem to really be disgusted by the entire franchise, all of the New Jersey cast and the show itself, from what I gather from the comments. So I read a lot of comments, guys. A lot of comments. I read a lot of comments, a lot of emails. I encourage you guys to comment. I encourage you guys to email me or DM me on Instagram, HW Historian with the number 2. But the comments that I'm also seeing, I posted on my Instagram. They were posted to YouTube because there's a lot of people they can't understand the relationship between Joe Gorga and Andy Cohen and Melissa, because I felt, in my opinion, but others also too felt like there was some favoritism that was happening during the reunion. What do you guys think? We saw Andy, I feel like he shot Jennifer Aiden down. I didn't particularly care for the way he handled that. I spoke about that on my live. Andy Cohen does big endorsements, okay? When Jennifer was referring to endorsements amongst the housewives, we've seen MG do endorsements for scrub brushes for your face, like toothbrush, charcoal, toothpaste, like endorsements for those types of things. Not big endorsements like Hanes or Calvin Klein or whatever Andy Cohen endorses. We don't get onto Andy Cohen's Instagram and see him selling us a generic face scrubber, is I think Jennifer's point. And anyone that follows Instagram, especially pre-COVID, knows that there was a lot of housewives that were just selling us, trying to sell us junk through their Instagram. But after COVID, that really kind of went away a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why. So I really feel like Andy kind of went hard at Jennifer in a way that he responded to her saying, like, she was including him as she was saying, like, Andy, where are your endorsements? And I don't know if maybe he doesn't like if you include him as if he is on their level. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in his mind, and it's true, he is like executive. He does have opinions on who stays and who goes, and he is legitimately their boss. So I think and during any conversation or argument that they have, if he is brought into it in a way that doesn't show him as superior, he doesn't like it, because he wants everyone to be sure to know that he's not a housewife. He's a producer and a writer and a yada 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 yada. And so he doesn't want to be taken down to like the level of a housewife. That is just kind of the vibe that I got from him. We saw him respond because she was like, Jennifer said, well, like, where are your endorsements, Andy? Like, you don't do endorsements because you don't have to, because you don't need to, because you have enough money. And Andy was like, oh, I love my endorsements, yada, yada, yada. And like, it just didn't land very well. And I don't know if she got a chance to make her point and maybe production cut it out, because Jennifer does a usually very great job of getting her point across. And I think sometimes that's why she tries to help Teresa. I think Teresa is so emotionally involved and she's so flustered that it's hard for her to even break down some of the gibber that's being thrown at her. We do know also, guys, that we had MG post about the reunion. She posted about being in her royal blue dress, and the designer got on Instagram and was like, hey, yo, royal blue, who made that for you? And she ended up tagging the designer, but it's just a little kind of weird that she didn't tag him in the original post. I did do a little video with that thread so you can see the comments on Instagram, HW Historian 2, and I will try to post it to the community page on here on YouTube as well. But yes, she posted her dress, posted promoting the reunion, and just did not give her designer any credit. There was also, allegedly, there was also a little video of her, I think it was Martinis by Eddie that posted it, and she had on white nail polish, and she was saying that the blue on the dress was coming off on the white nail polish, and someone said that that is like a sign of a like not well, like more quality, is that the word like I'm looking for fabric, quality fabric. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true or not, but and we're also not getting a lot from Margaret. We didn't really see her, we see her just be really pretty much prioritized about the private investigator and all of this deal. You guys should know that the private investigator has come out and made a little video kind of explaining that he had nothing to do with this, and it was shared on my friend's podcast, Andrew. I think it's called The Ivory Tower. I'm going to try to put it in the comments for you guys. He did a video, like a side-by-side stitch next to Bodil, and it's on Instagram as well and TikTok, and you guys should go check it out, because where is this man? Where did he come from? Like, how come we know who he is? And like, they're talking about him on the show so freely, but like, Laura Lee Jensen makes these accusations against Margaret and Melissa, and like Bravo doesn't even want to like film a visit, a lunch or anything with Jennifer and Teresa and Laura Lee. Like, I don't understand. Something just still seems amiss to me, and people really think that it could have something to do with, their relationship behind the scenes, and Andy's possible favoritism. Also wanted to say that Kelly and Rick, Kelly from the Real Housewives of Orange County, her husband Rick, they do their daily smash. He was what is the word? He was like a person that worked at Fox News. And so he's very good with a camera. He's good with talking to people. So they have a probably very lucrative YouTube channel and Patreon. But they said that when they met Louis, they met him and Teresa in St. Bart's. And they both said that Louis was very lovely and he was nothing like what they had heard and essentially thought in their head that he would be like. Like, Rick said it and Kelly said it. Rick is very authentic. I think Rick is a pretty authentic guy. So I do, that takes a little, that does weigh merit with me, because Teresa and Kelly, they didn't have beef, but they kind of did. Kelly Dodd had like read a really, really, really cruel comment that was written about Teresa on her podcast, because there was something that was said that somebody got upset about. I can't remember. But obviously they squashed that. And they did run into Rick and Kelly in St. Bart's, and allegedly they hung out and had a really nice time. And Rick kind of made the same point that I said yesterday in my live, which was the fact that this was the worst possible season that Louis could come on. There was really no angle that Louis could have played that the audience would have gotten a true perception of what the guy is like day to day and as a husband and a father, because all we saw was all this drama between the Gorgas and his fiance and the wedding and the pressure of the wedding and like that is a lot to have going on. It's a lot to be getting filmed, doing a TV show while getting married. It's just a lot. It's a lot of pressure, and I don't think that any angle Louis could have played it, he would not have come out looking good, because no one's going to be showing their best side when they're dealing with the stress of a wedding, the stress of a TV show, the stress of a contract of, are we going to do the wedding special or not? If you guys remember, it was like down to like the month before they confirmed that Bravo was going to film the wedding. Now, whether that's because they did that on purpose to keep viewers on edge and that they had approved it a long time prior. But Teresa was doing interviews saying, like, I don't know if I want my wedding to be filmed because it puts a lot of restrictions on the people that I can invite, and also that like restrictions on the music because Bravo has to get copyrights for everything. And so she seemed a little bit hesitant in having the wedding filmed. Whereas, yeah, that's what she said. So I don't think that there really was contract behind closed doors. I think that they couldn't come up with a number that everyone was happy with, because if you think about it, everyone got a paycheck out of this thanks to Louis and Teresa. So had they not done it, that could have potentially, financially, this is money that could financially maybe help his family. Like, I don't know how much they made. Gia made $60,000 that one season for doing her confessional. So I have no idea what everyone made, but I would say that that's a lot of pressure as well to know that your wedding is feeding all of these people paycheck, right? And that's a lot of pressure. And then you have the pressure between the drama of Joe and Melissa, and the pressure of production and behind the scenes and the finale, and it just was a lot, I think. And I'm not saying that Louis is an amazing guy, and I'm not saying that he's a terrible guy. I'm just saying that I don't think that Bravo gave us an accurate description, edit, if you will, of what Louis is really like as a father and a husband. And we just pretty much probably caught him like during a rough, stressful time. And who's going to be showing their best when you're under that amount of stress? None of the other castmates had anything like that going on, right? We saw Margaret and Lexi and Joe, which they didn't have a lot going on there, right? Like, we don't see we hear that Margaret is in Walmart, but has anyone seen anything that Margaret has in Walmart? And if so, like, why aren't we seeing parties? Why aren't we seeing what we see in Beverly Hills when they come out with a line, they have a party, they endorse it because Bravo's endorsing it because they're going to make money if the product sells? Why aren't we seeing that? That's confusing as well. If Margaret has this deal with Walmart and Bravo's getting a piece of it, and part of that is the issue between what might be going on behind closed doors, because Margaret may have been getting some bad press targeted towards her, is what I think they're trying to allude to. I don't think that's necessarily true. I just think that it's adding tension to an already stressed relationship between the cast, production, and Andy Cohen, right? It's just adding to it. So it's bad over there. It's really, really bad over there. I don't think they know what to do. Again, we spoke about Andy Cohen yesterday, and allegedly there's been meetings being held back doors behind closed doors. Andy, the real Andy BH, he came on his channel a couple of days ago, and he actually reported on this because he had a source that came out and had told him all the deets about what was going on. And again, issues with the way Andy Cohen was acting at the reunions. But was this production. It was like Andy yelled at one reunion, and then every reunion after that, there was always some point where he like flipped out. And again, why are you making dinner reservations on the day that you're filming the reunion? Like, yeah, you guys are there all day long, but you're making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay. Like, we want to feel bad for you, but like, we really don't want to feel bad for you because the average person goes to work 40, 50 hours a week. Like, all the time. So it just doesn't make sense that if you're going to film, if you're going to have a dinner reservation that you want to make, I wouldn't make it the day that you're filming a reunion. And is this because Andy's schedule is so tight? Is he being ran ragged? Is NBC, is he trying to just make, take the book deal, the press, this, that, like, or is he scared someone's going to take his spot? Like, I don't know. Something's amiss there as well. I'm scared that he is like maybe a little scared of change, and like Watch What Happens Live could definitely use like a little bit of freshening up. And it's almost like a high school or like a college kid that like, wants to leave for college but doesn't want his mom to touch his bedroom. Like when he comes home, he wants everything to be exactly the way it was when he left, right? That's kind of what the feeling I get from him a little bit, right? I mean, it looks even a little like dark in Watch What Happens Live, like in the chairs. It's like, come on, clean the place up. Let's get clean. We have a cleaning lady? Like, do the Gorgas have a cleaning lady? We know they have one, but not one that they owe a lot of money to. Just joking. That was so mean. I'm sorry. Anyways, yes. And also, Sherelle's World, I watched that because Freddie was on there. We haven't seen Freddie for a long time. I still speak with him, obviously, through chat. And he just has some big things going on, him and his family. And so he hasn't been able to really be online much, I think. And he was on Sherelle's World, I think, a couple of days ago. And she was talking about the troll farms and how this is like becoming so common with the housewives, like paying people. They like get information and then they pay people to like go after them on social media. And even for like bloggers that maybe if they say something that this Bravo celebrity doesn't like or the housewife doesn't like, they do it to them too. And it's really crazy because it really does muddy everything because Bravo allegedly like they just let it get by, it just gets by. And it's like bloggers that are in that middle stage that haven't quite made it yet, but they're like up and coming and putting in work, like that can be a really big bump in the road. Like I've been dealing with my accounts getting hacked. I mean, like cease and desist since March. Okay. Like it sucked up weeks of my life and days dealing with this shit. Like I'm one person. These people have multiple people helping them, multiple people running accounts. Their assistants got an account. They got an account. The sisters got an account. Everyone's got accounts. It's a very tangled web behind the scenes. And it is bullshit that these women aren't made to just take it on the chin a little bit when it comes to the bloggers because like we're talking about you, like that's what you guys like. No, obviously bad press, whatever, but we're talking about you. When we're talking about you, you're making money. We're like keeping your name. It's like that's kind of like the understanding. It's always been kind of the unspoken between bloggers and Bravo celebrities and them having the understanding that we can't go on every week and say how amazing and wonderful they are. Like just because maybe they're our favorite. Like they get upset if we say something negative, and then they send a bunch of bots or people to like attack the accounts. And I was hacked in April, my whole Instagram, and they tried it's just a nightmare. It's just a true nightmare. So it's like, where's that understanding at? I don't understand. Like we're just going to take everyone out if they say something that you don't like until we have just a couple of bloggers left, and they're the ones that follow suit. I don't understand. It seems a lot like what allegedly Andy Cohen does to the housewives. Like he loves the housewives that just stay in line and that are like, yes, sir, whatever, that are just happy to be there. The Teddy Mellencamps, like not the Teresa Giudices, not the Alexias, not the ones that are free thinkers, that are unconventional, that are outspoken, that have opinions, and they want you to just fall in line. And sometimes I feel like the housewives are like that with their own people and their own teams. And sometimes that's how they end up with all yes teams, like people that just yes them to death, even if it's not true. And uh, those are usually the people I feel like that like send bots after accounts. But mine was a specific situation. So it was known and understood where it was coming from. It, wasn't bots. But anyway, yeah, guys, this is where we're at with New Jersey. I want to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I also want to say something really quickly before I cut this video off about Atlanta. I said a long time ago, if you guys remember, the rumor that allegedly was said at the Real Housewives of Atlanta season finale reunion, it came out that there were rumors that Phaedra Parks had allegedly told Portia Williams that Candy and Todd wanted to DRUG her and then take her to their basement where they have like a sex dungeon. Here, wait, don't get demonetized for this. And obviously Candy was so upset because it was very far from the truth. Her and Todd, I definitely do not think are on any of that, right? I think maybe they like have fun, like they might have like a threesome, or they might like pick up a girl at a bar or something like that, maybe. But I doubt that even happens. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but um my point is that she's like good friends with T.I. and Tiny. And do you guys remember, like, a couple of years ago, Sherelle's World was covering it. It was like all these women that were coming out with civil lawsuits against them for DRUG-ing them, and possibly SA. And the best friend came out too and started talking. So in my mind, and I said this in one of my videos, my mind was that the story just got twisted. The story about like finding a woman and getting her into a SEX dungeon, that's all very true and happening, but it's not Candy and Todd. It's just maybe a little bit down the road. Like maybe it's her neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes when you like hang out with people, their stuff spill onto you, and maybe that's what happened because she is part of the girl group, which surprises me that Bravo. Yeah, I don't know, I don't want to get into all that right now, but yeah, so anyways, guys, make sure though that you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. I don't set advanced notifications. If I have tea, I just come on because I like to give you guys tea live. This is a pre-record, and I did put a little bit more of my opinion in there than I had anticipated, but that's because there's a lot going on with Andy and Teresa and everything behind the scenes of New Jersey. And the best way to explain it, we have to talk with a little bit of emotion because there's so much emotion rolling around between all of them, good, bad, ugly energy. It's crazy, right? And I hope that we're gonna get to see Jennifer really shine this next second part. She looks so beautiful. And I hope that, we're gonna have a good second and third part reunion. Maybe we can take a break from the week, talk about Atlanta, talk about Vanderpump, and just rest from our tree stumps. Bye, guys.